Serious, has a friend ever said something that just straight up ended the friendship? What happened? In college, a former friend tried to have sex with me. I'm also a guy. While I was blackout drunk. He was not drunk. He did that despite knowing I am straight and had a girlfriend at the time. Lucky for me there were some actual friends that stopped him. She got married. I was just friends with this girl from law school. She was a cool girl and we lived in the same city after law school. We never had sex. We had never seen each other naked. I was dating someone else at the time. She was dating this guy. I met her parents as just a friend. Was friends with her sister. So for about 6 years we were just pretty cool friends. She gets married. Her husband then texts me and tells me to stay away from her. I text her and say, "Yo, your husband is telling me not to speak with you anymore. Is that what you want?" I got no response. Cool. A few weeks pass and I call friend's sister and see if she wants to grab a drink as I was in the area. "You got some ducking nerve calling me." What? Listen, I know XX doesn't want me to speak to her but not sure why we can't be friends. Are you ducking killing me? You ruined her life and are trying to ruin her marriage with what you did to her. What? I'm sorry. I have no idea what you are talking about. I have always had her best interest at heart, so I dunno. Yeah. Well, then why didn't you tell her you had herpes before you ducked her? Wait, what? She and I never had sex and I don't have herpes, so I'm a little confused here. Stop ducking lying. Husband told the whole thing and she never denied it, so duck you. Don't ducking ever speak to us again. Alright. Come to find out, that asshole had herpes and didn't tell her and he gave her herpes, and when it got out that she had herpes somehow, he blamed it on me and she just let the lie take hold because it was easier than her family hating her husband. Alright. Cheers. Consider it a parting gift. I'm the dumped friend. She posted a video from The Onion of a fake senator reading a fake bill that was all redacted, and you could tell with context clues it was basically saying in the event of Armageddon, the high-powered people have bunkers to hide in. She made some comment about the redacting and our government is hiding stuff. I commented that it was a satire video and not real. She got super mad and accused me of trying to make her look stupid. She said there was no way she could have known. The Onion was in the bottom right hand corner of the video. She blocked me and we have never spoken since. We had known each other for at least 5 years. More accurately, my parents, took her in when she ran away from home for, like, a year when we were teens. When her husband beat her up, early 20s, I road tripped all night to pick her back and move her back in. My best mate's now ex-girlfriend told everyone I had sex with her while they were dating, when I definitely had not. She was the most irritating person I'd ever met, and I don't know if I've ever been attracted to someone less than I was to her. Ruined our friendship and destroyed her relationship with my mate. She is one of those people that crave drama and can't live without having something wrong to moan about. She's currently pretending to have multiple personality disorder and blaming that for every time she's a D-head so she can get away with it. One of my best friends of several years set me up to get robbed for UAQ 390, my wallet and my jacket. The guy who robbed me pulled a machete on me and kept it against my neck. I don't really know why they decided they want to do it, but I know from enough people, and just the way it all happened gave me suspicions, telling me it was him that I found out. So naturally I stopped being friends with him, because it was a bit of a D-move and all. I was gaming with my best friend and my wife was sitting on the couch next to me just reading a book. She was super content just letting me game. She just wanted to be spending time with me. My friend had a not even 1-year-old kid that he just stuck in a bouncing chair in the side of the room while we played. He said the kid loves the chair and is in it a lot, so he just games. The kid starts whining a bit, but he gets ignored. I'm thinking we'll probably hit this checkpoint and he'll go tend to his kid. Nope. Several good stopping points had passed and the kid was fussing even more now. So my buddy says to my wife's name, "There's formula in the cupboard and the diaper bag is over in the corner there. He's probably just hungry and has a poopy diaper if you wanna feed and change him." I looked at this guy like he'd just slapped her, turned my game off and said, how about instead of asking my wife to do it, you put down your game and take care of your own child? A bit of a harsh response, but he looked so butthurt that I just told him to take care of his own child instead of game all day. I packed my stuff up and we left. I haven't spoken to him in 3 years. TL. Doctor, my former best friend told my wife to feed and change his infant child so he could keep playing video games. We don't speak anymore. I got sexually assaulted by 2 guys in a summer camp and told it to my best friend. After calling me stupid for letting that happen, she apologized and I forgave her. Then I saw her parents who asked how summer camp went and all she did was turn to me and go, "Well, you made many friends, didn't you? Don't you wanna tell my parents about it?" With a big smile on her face. I don't feel too bad about thinking that she can duck off in hell. She told me to never speak to her again after she learned I was hearing voices, and we never spoke again. We had one friend that said he fell on bad times with money, so we paid everything for him during the next couple of months. Drinks, cigars, travel. And after a few months we found out he was going out with new people all that time and was acting rich in front of them with all the money he was saving by scamming us. I hope it was as worth it for him as it was for us. After I spent all day using my truck and trailer helping him haul tables and chairs and a giant archway to the church for his wedding that I was supposed to be a groomsman. Him, "Hey dude, I really appreciate you helping me move this stuff. I couldn't get anyone else to help. Here's $20 for the gas." Me, "Whoa dude, I'm in your wedding. I don't need money to help make this happen." Him, "Yeah dude, so hey, Brent, his soon-to-be wife's best guy friend / 100% ex-duck buddy guy he's known for less than 3 months. Really wanted to be in the wedding and I was wondering if it would be cool if you took your spot and I can see if any of her cousins backed out and if there's a seat open somewhere." This was the day before the wedding. I had been best friends with that guy since kindergarten. His wife didn't like me because I knew about her wild past from a different circle of friends, so this was her attempt to push me out. He caved, but none of the other people involved would help move it, so he waited until last minutes to get me to help. Haven't spoken to that guy since. And last I heard she quit her job and sucks D in his house all day while he's at work. They deserve each other. Edit. I feel like I need to add. 2 days after the wedding the church venue called me frantic. Apparently no one picked up the chairs, tables, and archway from the church venue and those ducks gave my number and told them I was supposed to be picking them up. That didn't happen. My former best friend, of over 6 years, hit up my ex-girlfriend the day we broke up. He sent her a DM asking if she wanted to hang out at his house. Parents but WTV. At the time he also had a girlfriend who was pregnant with his kid. My ex hit me and his girlfriend up with the messages. My ex and his girlfriend decided to go together at his place and expose him. I didn't want to do with any of that, but I didn't want anything to happen to either of the girls. So we show up. His mom greets us and lets us in. As soon as he saw us 3 he knew that it was up but acted all surprised. We told him we knew. He kept defending his case by saying his little brother, who was ducking 6, sent my ex those messages. Well, to make a long story short, his pregnant girlfriend left him. He's currently paying child support. He also moved out of the state like a month later. My ex and I are back together and 3 months into our marriage. Best friend and ex-co-worker for 5 years. Confided in her and told her about my self-harming, depression and stuff I went through as a child. You can imagine. 2 days later she not only told the whole of my old workplace but told my family too. Absolutely heartbreaking. Hey, do you wanna be your own boss and retire by 25? Didn't love my dog when he was dog sitting. Carelessly let her run away. Then failed to look for her. My surveillance cameras caught it all. I was pissed. Friendship over. I have chronic health issues, and my best friend was trying to get me to drive 30 minutes to her house to go swimming when I had to pack to leave town the next day. She kept pushing and pushing, but when she finally realized I wasn't going to agree, she sat back and said, "You wouldn't be any fun even if you had your health." I left and didn't speak to her again. Friend had physically harmed another friend who was drunk because he thought nobody would notice. Next day I confronted him, and after looking in my eyes and denying what I had seen for 30 minutes, it was like his mask came off. I have never understood the descriptions of the coldness of eyes until that moment. He just looked at me, smiled, and said honestly, I just don't care. We are no longer friends. Everyone else eventually figures out that he was batshit and takes a step back. He checks into a psych ward for 3 days, but keeps the admittance bracelet on for the next 3 weeks. Tells everyone he talks to, using my name, about a sitch who destroyed his life and caused him to attempt suicide. Don't be friends with psychopaths. Kids, if they have alienated everyone they ever knew, the common denominator is them. Edit. Okay. Noting this here, I'm new to Reddit, and just got kicked off another subreddit for not using asterisks and curse words. Didn't know that wasn't standard Reddit procedure. To all of you who were kindly pointing this out, thank you. I have learned a lot about formatting today in general and appreciate the help. To all of you who got weirdly aggressive about it, you guys should really get a hobby. FCK y'all. Had a whole bunch do it at once. I used to have a group of people I thought were my friends. Because of this, I did a lot for them. I helped them out by working on their projects, supported them, let one stay in my home rent-free when they were in danger of becoming homeless. I did all that for these people. But 2 years in a row, they couldn't be bothered to do something as simple and easy as meet up with me for drinks to celebrate my birthday. Half of them didn't even bother responding to being invited. I've pretty much cut them all out my life now. I'm done being used by those who don't care about me. I went to stay the night with one of my best friends. Long story short, the entire night was just her on her phone, not invested or listening to anything I said. I knew this BC. I tested it by saying something that could not be funny in the slightest, and she let out this huge fake laugh without looking up from her phone. This was a problem I'd been having with her the past year at most. She wanted to go to sleep super early because she was tired. I ended up lying and saying I needed to go home and she was more than fine with it. After all she wanted to do was sleep or text. Not even an hour after I'm home, I see her Snapchat story of her at her other new friend's house drinking and seemingly having a blast. Not only was it hurtful she did that, but that she didn't care I would see it. That was when I decided we were no longer best friends. I still get sad about it because we had been so close since junior high. Some people just change for the worst. Subreddit. This will be the 3rd friend I've shared on, but this is the worst one I have. A friend who I just spent an entire weekend with took advantage of my MySpace page being logged into her computer, posted as me saying I was coming out lesbian. Multiple of our classmates too, and made my default a terrible saturated acne photo of me, to say the least. I've had bad luck with girlfriends. An ex-friend of mine was pushing me for inappropriate images under the flimsy guise of joking. Seemingly out of nowhere, I was in a 3-year relationship with my now husband, and this ex-friend of mine also had a GF of his own during this whole ordeal. Real classy. Now, this wasn't really something he had done previously in all our years knowing one another. So with that in mind, I foolishly tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and just made it unmistakably clear to him that if he didn't stop behaving like a mindless pervert, I'd cut contact and end our friendship. Then one day I got an image text. It was his boner outlined in gym shorts and a sad and completely see-through fish for compliments than the most pathetic backpedal of the century. Friendship of 10+ years ended, but not before I ducking laid into him first before blocking that toxic predator's ass. Duck you. Lyle. You know what? Recently, like late 2019, I started getting out of the house. I'm a single father of 2 girls and I've focused on them 1000% for a really long time. I finally got out of the house a few times, and I'm serious, I went to this friend's house a few times for game nights. Basically drinking and cards. Till this dude hauled off and hit me for accidentally touching his ducking hat of all things. What struck me most is that they were hosting and didn't even offer an apology to me. It was quite insane for me. It was like I was back in high school, unducking real. I gave them ample time to ducking realize what happened. It took the person 3 months to even realize we are no longer friends on social media, and she's trying to add me back now. And honestly, it ducking broke something in me. Someone said I should put a trigger warning, rape, and this is pretty heavy, so buckle up. This is a throwaway account for what will soon be obvious, I hope. Last year, my friend met this girl that he really liked and asked her out. I didn't really like her. but she seemed nice enough. A couple months later I found out that they had sex. A little surprising, but not a super huge deal. She starts acting super paranoid. If someone even brushes against her, she flips the duck out. She avoids him. I learned that she wanted nothing to do with sex and he forced himself upon her. He hunts her down and, without me initially knowing, threatens her and rapes her again. My group of friends eventually helped her out of the situation and into counseling. She still has many problems because of it. I want nothing to do with my former friend and have grown to hate him. I cut off all ties. Sometimes he still tries to talk to me, but I refuse and have told him why. The only reason he isn't in jail is because the girl has all the evidence and refuses to distribute it. He has tried to guilt her into other favors and threaten to end her if she tells anyone or bothers him, even though he is the one who bothers her. I just found out through word of mouth that one of my best friends and groomsmen has been telling people he's skipping my wedding to go to his girlfriend's college graduation. He's known me for 8 years. They've been dating for 6 months. Yes, for some background, I was best friends with this girl, let's call her Alice, for several years. I had just ended a relationship with a guy that through the course of our 5-year relationship developed an addiction to opioids that ultimately resulted in our painful breakup. And I'm B. Anyway, I started dating a woman I met through Alice. Alice was becoming increasingly territorial, even before I started hanging out with this woman. Eventually we became more serious and Alice called my girlfriend and told her that I'd said she was just some lesbian that was obsessed with me about my girlfriend. These words have never and would never leave my mouth. It was just Alice's attempt at sabotaging our relationship. Fortunately my girlfriend knew better and called me immediately and I was able to fix the situation and right the wrong. However, my friendship with Alice was absolutely done as soon as I knew this. Side note, Alice has since completely ruined multiple other friendships within our friend group because of her deceit and mistreatment of people. It's the most vivid example of karma I can think of. Edit. Words. After convincing me to delete my accounts everywhere and make new ones. After promising me that they'll protect me from my abusive ex. After witnessing everything my ex done to me and how it scarred me for life. I found out that my best friend was dating my ex behind my back for months, lying about it the whole time. I didn't know who my friend was dating, as they refused to introduce them in person. It turns out they've been dating behind my back a few weeks before my ex broke up with me. The whole thing scarred me to this day. It's been a year and I haven't heard from either of them since. Though, good riddance. Edit. Spelling. Punctuation. Last year, I think, this man sexually assaulted a teenage boy, 16 or 17, and the man was a middle school principal. The boy went into depression and was contemplating suicide and he now has mental problems. I was talking to my friends about it in a group chat and one of my friends who knew the man started defended him as if her life depended on it. Started cussing me out and talking about how he's always nice with her. Obviously he won't touch you. You're a girl. My other friend kicked her out of the group and we all blocked her. The victim of the situation preferred killing himself over telling someone about it and it broke me. As for that friend, I want nothing to do with her. Yup, she said she was going to kill herself because of me. All I did was plan an event her baby couldn't come to. I get she was dealing with postpartum depression but that's a hard no for me. I was going through Summit and needed to be talked down from suicide one night. I told my friend I really needed help and someone to talk to. She said I'm really not up for that right now. You're on your own. I listened to this woman rant about her money troubles and helped her out. The one time I need some help. That took a lot in me to ask for. I get a selfish sorry itch. Not my job. I haven't talked to her in 7 years and she can still go duck herself. On the brighter side, I was too ducking mad at her to kill myself that night. Edit. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Edit 2. I didn't tell her I was suicidal. I kept that part to myself. I just told her I needed someone to talk to because of my anxiety and depression were really ducking with me and please don't leave me alone. I really needed to just be told everything was alright. She wanted to watch TV and not talk me and for me to get over it and it wasn't her job to hold my hand. Hope that clears it up. My cousin and I were inseparable as teens. He went on his mission, Mormon, and I went to hang out for a few days when he got back. I was so excited. I got there, paid for all the fun stuff we went out to do. No problem. His childhood friend and I were trying to get him to go for a walk to this cave we used to go to, and he decided to tell me what a piece of trash I am and I'm going to hell because I'm gay. I didn't say a word as I drove him home immediately. I said get out and haven't talked to him in the 8 years since then. Duck him. My husband had a best friend. Been friends for over a decade. He asked his best friend to be his best man at our wedding. He agreed. Then at 2 weeks before our wedding he asked if he could bring a date. We were puzzled as we didn't think he'd been dating anyone. So we inquired and were like sure. Turns out it was one of our mutual friend's wife he was banging. We all hated her anyway. But him wanting to bring her as his date was the end for my husband. A friend said that not only would he not be the best man, but he wouldn't come to the wedding if he couldn't bring the friend's wife he was cheating with. Yep, that was a big nope. They haven't been friends since. I had a friend that I ended things with because she said your problem is you have too much humanity. You care about people too much. I asked her if she cared at all about her fellow human beings and she said don't know them. Duck them. Why do you think I carry a gun? We were in a heated discussion and I had to take a breather. The absolute look of triumph and joy on her face that she had because she broke me to the point that I had to step away was enough for me. So it wasn't so much what she said, but the fact that she was so genuinely happy that she hurt me so badly. Her look was like gotcha rich. I won the argument. The fact that her winning was more important than our friendship and trying to see each other's point of view was it for me. She was no one I wanted to know. She admitted to me when we first became friends that she doesn't have empathy or compassion. I should have listened. I just thought she was being hard on herself. Nope. I've had friends just straight up stop talking to me, which I guess is a strong indicator that our friendship is over. I have a story that I don't really like to talk about. This has been a recent event in my life and is serious. My friend that I am no longer friends with is someone that I have known for years. We are neighbors and practically grew up together. He was a relatively normal person and had good morals up until he was introduced to social media. He used YOLO on Snapchat as well as Instagram. He mainly used Snapchat and YOLO. At this time, his parents were typically not home or helping with taking care of the recent baby brother he received, so he had plenty of free time, and that free time he used to post YOLOs. Before he used social media, he was really into the Joker for some odd reason. He'd act like the character for no reason and act strange towards strangers and people he knew. He even acted that way towards his girlfriend. He ended up losing her because he was acting oddly towards her. All whilst this was happening, he was saying horrifying things on Snapchat. I thought that what he was posting was very disturbing and I got tired of it. He also threatened to kill people and hurt people. I ended up taking screenshots of what he was posting and showed the school administration to see if they could help him. He ended up getting suspended for a substantial amount of time and thankfully stopped what he was doing. I am not longer his friend because I can't take any chances of him finding out and hurting me. TLDR. My friend acted like the Joker and threatened to kill people, so I told the school and got him suspended. Call me a snitch all you want, but it would have gotten worse if I didn't do anything. I was this friend. I went to a good friend's birthday party, and apparently at some point I must have said something that really offended her. I tried reaching out repeatedly, and she refused to speak to me. I still have literally no idea what I said or did. My wife was there too, and she doesn't know either. Very, very strange. It's been over 6 years, and I'm still baffled. Edit. Holy it, this blew up. Glad to know I'm not alone in this kind of thing. And I really appreciate all the love, you guys. So, my friends and I all found out that another friend, from here on known as BG4 birthday girl, had never had a surprise birthday thrown for her, and it was her dream. So we decided to make that happen. My husband planned a big get together at another friend's house. We invited lots of friends, bought lots of food and even barbecue equipment, and really went all out. BG found out about the surprise party a few weeks beforehand by accident, and was thrilled. Like, broke down sobbing. She was so happy because no one had ever done it for her before. Awesome. We were hyped. 2 days before the party, she texts my husband that she's changed plans and is going bowling with another friend instead. but we're invited to come. 8D. What? We were floored and pretty pissed, and lots of people were already committed to coming to this thing. So we just had the party without her, and she texted us some super angry messages because we didn't show up for bowling. Now no one is friends with her.